What's up, Schmoedown fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm Star Wars competitor Andrew Dimalanta.
And I'm Nicki Dimalanta.
Oof, the season has ended.
Whoa,
Spectacular 5. Yeah, I see what you did there. Spectacular 5 has happened, and right off the bat, I'll probably put it in the description. This is a spoiler warning. We are talking about Spectacular.
If you haven't watched it, come back later
because you're not. If you didn't get the live event and you're on a Patreon at the $10 tier, you didn't see it yet, and they're going to be releasing the matches every week until for the next 6 weeks.
It's gonna take a little bit, and we are going to talk about the outcomes of the matches. If you don't want to know.
Yeah, but just to keep these episodes within reason for our schedule, at least, we're going to split this up into 2. We might do a special Friday episode since
maybe
we can record on Thursday.
Why not?
We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see how I feel. Maybe just to get these out of the way. But we are splitting these up into 2 videos. We'll do the first half in this video and the second half in the next video. So we'll see what happens. But there's so much to go over.
There's a lot to go over. And spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning again. So if you have not watched any of Spectacular at all, Spectacular 5, maybe, keep it on, put us on mute, give us the watch times.
And if you don't care about spoilers, hang out with us. But if you do, we are going to talk about the outcomes and all that jazz.
Yes. But and we'll also talk about, I love that they're back.
Oh, so many cutscenes.
There's so many cutscenes.
Oh my God, it's so much drama.
Oh God, yes.
Spilling tea.
Yes. Spoiler alert again.
Oh yeah.
I got a lot. I got some.
We got some stuff to say.
I got some stuff to say about one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it, because there's the pre-show obviously, but even before Spectacular happened, we had this little cutscene with Brandon Hanna.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and he's coming in. He says next year is going to be the
year of Brandon Hanna,
year of the Hitman.
Oh yeah, the Hitman. That's
right. He gets pushed to the side like a dummy by Sabrina.
Yeah, and
she comes in and says all these words about how Gucci messed up, blah, blah, blah. They're the power couple. They're going to be the power couple of the Schmoedown, which is like, ooh, that's a tall task because there's a couple, there's like at least 4 or 5 power couples you can rattle off right now.
When you're talking power couples.
Power couples. Sam Levine, Rachel Cushing, Shannon and Mike.
Mara
and Dan Murrell.
Alex
Damon and Molly Damon.
So
maybe if you jump in,
it's a big thing to say.
If you jump in and do well, maybe we can be a power couple on the show.
Well,
I keep pushing it, but I
don't know.
But yeah, so that was like, okay, all right, we're starting.
It's like, okay,
all right. I mean, we haven't the last time we saw Hannah was the teams tournament.
Oh yeah.
And, he did very well in that match. And then the last time we saw Sabrina was in the play-in match in the singles tournament against Mancuso.
Yeah.
Not the best showing for her. She's got a lot to say, a lot of big words she was spouting out, but it's like, you had one match, not the best showing, but we'll see what happens next season.
It was debut, to be fair.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens with those two. And I'm interested to see the storyline with these two evolve. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after that we got the pre-show, and then it goes into the first match, which we're gonna do this a little more different.
Yeah,
because I got a lot to say about the first match of Spectacular.
Usually, if something involves Star Wars, it's gonna have some more discussion.
We talk about it more than others.
Yeah,
because
sorry,
this is our show. We do things our way on Beyond.
Andrew competes in Star Wars, so that's what we like to talk about.
So we're gonna flip the script a little bit, and we're gonna talk about the Britney Young, Chris Jericho match.
Oh, word.
First.
Okay. So I think there was at the top of the show there was a cutscene.
There was another one. Yeah,
so we'll
we'll
discuss that. It was Andrew Ghai, and can I just start off with saying that we do not deserve Andrew Ghai.
No,
he is such a gem. He is a genius.
He commits.
He's so good.
He commits 100% to this character.
My God,
that they fabricated, and it's amazing.
He is the heartbeat of the plot line right now.
Yeah, and again,
just plot in general. He is.
Yeah, And it's so hard to think that this was sort of the through line of the season because it came in halfway through the season, I believe, somewhat. But like it is now like what like
what are you gonna
because last year was Anarchy and like the through line with that.
Oh yeah. Oh, and there was like a mastermind behind everything. Like, who is it?
Yeah, and
so now we're back.
Yeah, and I don't want to spoil the because there's several cutscenes with Andrew Ghai, and this is just the beginning of it.
It's an evolving storyline. So this one, I believe, was just him saying it was, at the introductory, I'm gonna set the groundwork. So all season he's been like, Schmoedown, there's somebody or some people out there that have been trying to hold me back and blah blah blah. So this cutscene kind of is laying the groundwork for the fact that we are going to go on a journey with him. And
he hops a fence.
Maybe some light trespassing. I'm not sure.
A little bit of, not breaking and entering, but trespassing probably.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it just sets up the whole thing that he's like, I'm going to expose it. Stick with me.
And he has to be a little careful because he might be followed by somebody because like, he stops and like, what?
Looking around. Back down the alley.
Yeah.
Very suspenseful.
Being very safe and cautious with his mask on.
Yes. A wonderful pillar of society. Great example to all the young Schmoedown fans.
Wear your mask, people.
Yeah, please.
We'll be out of this sooner than later.
We want to get back in the studio.
Yes.
So
wear your masks.
Wear your mask.
But yeah, it's just, one of several cutscenes that we get out of him, and it's just like, hey, I know who's behind it. I need to get a few things first.
Stick with me.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So we are going to hop, skip, and jump over to Jericho. Is it Le Champion or Le Champion?
Well, I think it's Le Champion. I'm not sure.
Le Champion.
Shows how much we're paying attention.
Le Champion. Jericho. Le Champion. Versus Britney the Cherry Bomb Young. Chris Jericho is, of course, representing the rock stars, and Britney is, of course, representing the dungeon.
Both of an 0-1 record.
Word. That's very true.
And we've talked about this before about how it's like, I mean, we get it. It's Chris Jericho. Yeah. Have him at Spectacular. Get more eyeballs on it. But then there's the competitor to me. It's like, oh, come on, man. Two winless people get to play in Spectacular. But it's like, but
I get it.
I get it. But I will say this match was entertaining.
Oh, it was.
It was closer than I thought it was going to be.
They were pretty evenly matched. I enjoyed the way that their personalities played off each other. I think they seemed to know each other.
And for me, I think that was. I hate to say the saving grace for it, but like, this is what kept me interested in this match. Was Jericho is a personality in his own. He comes in when he gets introduced. Like, God, it's so much talking. Let's just get over with. I'm like, yeah.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Brian must have missed that part.
And it's like he said it in his last match against Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, you have me on first because I'm tired of hearing you guys babble on about this match. I'm like, only Jericho can do that.
There was a couple moments where I turned to Andrew and I'm like, only Chris Jericho is going to be allowed to get away with what just happened.
So like, because like I think this match is like a representation. Like if you're not really in it for the trivia, come for the personalities. And it was very entertaining.
It was a really fun match,
and it was one of these where it's like no title on the line, not a lot of points to be made up.
It was a palate cleanser, if you will.
Yeah,
3 rounds. Nothing really at stake.
It was fun. It was a very fun match to watch.
It was very fun and lighthearted.
Yeah.
So, getting into it, round 1, and this is a testament to how not serious this match was, because I think one of the very first questions was the answer was the Goonies, and one of them wrote the Goonies, and the other wrote Goonies, and I was like, if this was anybody else, it'd be like, throwing my challenge on the table. So, but nobody even batted an eye. So
yeah, it's a very relaxed match.
It was kind of almost like, good, okay. I'm glad that we blew
because we got
that.
A couple challenges in this. I think there's only 2 challenges in the entire Spectacular, right?
We'll see. I remember one, obviously, but I don't remember because my brain.
It's a lot to process for this.
So, that just reminded me. Usually they have somebody do the anthem at Spectacular. I thought he was going to record Bonnie doing it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Congratulations to Bonnie Somerville, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Isn't she engaged and whatever? Good job. Congratulations. Yeah. I wish you nothing but happiness and friends royalties. So Jericho missed a question about...
Still keeps cashing them checks.
Hey, man.
I would too.
I would too. So Jericho missed a question about the Silver Linings Playbook, also Shutter Island. Britney missed a question about Blade Runner and Caddyshack. So by the end of round 1, it was tied 6-6.
Very evenly matched competitors.
Yeah. Round 2, Jericho goes first. He spins away from famous actors and actresses. He gets dramas. He goes to multiple choice one time. He misses it. It did get stolen. And then he just threw caution to the wind, had a big fat 2-point miss.
Oof.
Also stolen.
Yeah.
And then he went to multiple choice a second time. Got that one. Britney goes. She spins away from Tarantino, gets spinner's choice, picks Disney. Well, she was expecting to get like
animated film,
Beauty
like
and the Beast,
the classic animation, like
classic.
Aladdin, Lion King. It's like, oh, you forget all these other movies that Disney makes. They're a big company.
Yeah.
Question. Would like I know I just answered my own question in my own head because technically Star Wars and Marvel are now Disney films.
So they probably could be asked, but they probably wouldn't.
But they could be, but technically it's Star Wars has its own division and its own and the Marvel, the MCU is technically is inner geekdom. So it's like, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. It's like, I mean, I
never thought about that.
Yeah,
but
you could argue because they're the umbrella corporation that owns those properties.
Yeah, I just feel like they're so compartmentalized.
Yeah,
that they probably wouldn't.
Because when you think Star Wars, you don't think Disney film,
right? You think Disney, you think Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think if somebody was like, hey, what was the name of that TIE fighter? And they'd be like, are you kidding me? I came here for Princess and the Frog.
It's an obvious answer, but it's just like, I wonder if anybody's ever thought of it about that way because, they technically now anything coming out of they're not called the 20th Century Fox, the 20th century now will technically be a Disney film.
Yeah. I don't think it would happen though. I see what you're saying.
Legality, who owns what. I don't think you bring that into the Schmoedown because that's something that
that's not what somebody's going to pick Disney for.
Yeah, exactly. So I just answered my own question. Don't ignore me.
Yeah. So she picks Disney. She, didn't go exactly how she thought it was going to go. She goes to multiple choice 4 times. Missed one. Got stolen. Got 2 more.
There was something funny that happened in this round too.
And
I think
then
you took note of it.
Her fourth multiple choice, she missed it, and it was not stolen. And one of them, it might have been this one.
You can say it because I'll bleep it out. What Jericho says, I'll bleep.
Okay.
I'll bleep it out.
Oh, man.
Cafe
Okay.
who?
Yeah. So I think it was the 4th question that she went on multiple choice on, and it was like, in Lady and the Tramp, what's the name of the restaurant when they eat the spaghetti with each other?
Yeah.
And it was like Alfredo's and Bella Noche, and then these like 2 other names or whatever. Tony's. And I think that before they even read Jericho was not impressed with the Disney category from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think even before they probably even read the multiple choices, he just said that it was like cafe who gives a and
that was who gives a
cafe who gives a
yeah.
That's right.
Either way, for me right now.
Either way is funny. And I told Andrew, wouldn't it be fun if somebody made a shirt on TeePublic of the spaghetti scene and they just had a big banner that said cafe who gives a
And shout out to Nerd Chronic who had a hilarious joke, and Mark Ellis as well. He's like, multiple choices are cafe who gives
and it just like popped up for a quick second.
Yeah, Nerd Chronic. That was just when editing and humor and like ad-libbing just like meld together. Perfect joke.
Good job, Eric.
Fantastic.
Good job, Eric. That was a fun moment, and I was just kind of like, wow, I don't think many other people could get away with that. But it was a fun moment.
Yeah.
So by the end of round 2, it was 10-11 in favor of Britney.
Very close still. It's very close.
Round 3, 2 point for Les Champions. Remakes and reboots. Jeff Goldblum plays scientist Seth Brundle in what horror remake? And it was The Fly. He got it. 2 point for Britney. She gets Crime. Who stars as Debbie Ocean in Ocean's 8? Miss Congeniality herself, Sandra Bullock. She got it. 3-pointer for Jericho. Horror. Who plays Randy Meeks in the Scream franchise? Oh, and this was a good poll because he was like kind of like really not. The name was not coming to him. I think at one point he finally got Jamie, and he was like, Jamie. And then he finally, he finally got Kennedy out there. So that was a great poll. Fun moment. 3-pointer for Britney. Movie quotes. What holiday classic features the line, worse? How could things get any worse? Take a look around here, Ellen. We're at the threshold of hell. So I got this one too by pure luck. She kind of was like, kind of thinking about it a lot like what Jericho had just done with Jamie Kennedy, kind of going back and forth. And then she says Christmas Vacation, and she got it.
And another moment where it's kind of like, this is revealing how like relaxed this match is, because I think anywhere else, because isn't the full like title?
I thought it was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
We could be wrong, but like
I don't know. Maybe it's because like you were saying,
it's a franchise.
Maybe you just need the subtitle or sub whatever.
Yeah, but like in certain situations, sometimes like if the franchise is in the question, then you only need the subtitle, because this happened. Spoiler alert, this happens quite a few times in the Inner Geekdom title match.
With like Harry Potter titles.
Yeah, the titles. And it's like, and even chances like I just need the subtitle, right? Like, So, but then again, I
don't know. I don't know how it's like listed on IMDb.
Yeah. But either way, she got it. So
either way, she got it, and it was fun pull.
Yeah.
So 5-pointer for Jericho. Disaster. Which early 2000s film features Aaron Eckhart, Delroy Lindo, Bruce Greenwood, and Richard Jenkins? It was The Core, and he missed it. So
I remember seeing ads for that. I'm like, who wants to watch that?
I sure don't.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know how it is.
And I sure don't remember.
Yeah.
So it ended up 15-16 in favor of Brittany and The Dungeon.
This was a fun match to watch, both personality wise, and again, the competitors are very even, so they kept ping ponging back and forth. And it's like, these are the kind of matches you want to see. It's like, and we always say it. It's like, sometimes I want to see some competitors get knocked out.
Certain times it's kind of like, oh, I'd love to see this person get knocked out.
Yeah, exactly.
But then there are other times that it's like, no, I don't really want to see that.
I want to see a close match. I want to, that's what we watch.
I want to not be able to sit still in my seat and have my blood pressure rise.
When
that's
you watch,
a great feeling.
Yeah, when you watch the Super Bowl, the only time you ever want to see a blowout is your team's winning.
But it's fun to see these types of matches. Like I said, it's a nice palate cleanser.
Yeah, it was a fun match.
Not every match needs to be a nail biter.
Brittany Young gets her first win. The Dungeon gets a win in Spectacular.
That is true.
And it was fun to see the trash talk between Kaiser and Jericho. That was entertaining too.
Yes.
And as far as Jericho goes, I'm like, do we see him again? I mean, I'm pretty sure he's like, I'm only playing for Roxy.
Yeah.
And like I've said it before, my concern with people like of like the celebrities of Jericho and Smith's caliber, it's like when Corona isn't a thing anymore, will they have time for it? Because it's like they're big names. Like Jericho is a partial owner of a wrestling company. They got to get back into business.
Yeah.
Smith has his own podcast and things he does, and he makes films for a living. So
especially if at some point next season, at least some matches are in the studio, because right now you just roll out of bed and be like, turn my camera on, I'm ready for my match.
Yeah.
But if it's like, oh, hey, we're in the studio, or are there special exceptions? Like this one's going to be virtual.
And that's
who knows? And who knows where Corona will be, next season.
We could be back here again next year.
It could be the same thing all next year. Yeah. Who knows? But I know that Christian will handle it the right way and the safe way.
And I would argue if Christian was like, if I had the option of either digital or in the studio, we're going to go to the studio. But like,
if you can do it safely and just sanitize everything all the time,
unless there's no other option but digital.
Everybody bring your own foamy thing for the microphone in case you spittle on it.
Oh man, this is an argument we can have on in the off season. Like, what do studio matches look like when we eventually get to them? Like,
I would have fun making guesses about that from an infection control standpoint.
Because you have a lot to say about infection control. That was pretty much your job for a long 5 years?
A while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And now it still is my job. I discuss it. I don't do it.
Harla, hit us up if you want to help with infection control and how to control it in a controlled environment. Talk all day about it. I've certainly heard stories about it.
It's gross, and it makes you not want to touch anything or anyone because people are gross. So, we are going out of order a little bit, so we'll just keep on going on this track that we're on. So a cutscene appears, a wild cutscene appears. And it is Mark Riley.
Oh, yeah, this one.
And Benjamin Bateman.
The boss.
So, Ben, the boss Bateman, and Mark Yodi Riley, who's the boss?
Mm.
You know? So they're talking and everything, and you know, it's awkward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Riley's talking about next year, and
yeah, like he wants to have another run. It's like we have this run in us. Like we've done great things.
We've done great things.
We can
together.
do it again.
Exactly.
So like,
and you know, we hit some roadblocks, and who hasn't, and whatever. Yeah. So you know, let's just pick up our bootstraps. Is that what people say? And then we'll get back to it next year. You know what I'm saying, baby?
Pick up bootstraps.
I think that's a phrase.
I don't know.
Pick up your bootstraps and get back to work. I think that's
get back on the horse.
Get back on the horse.
Yeah.
Back on the trail. Back in the game.
Yeah.
Pull up your
either
bootstraps.
way, Mark is all in on like, hey man, we're still a good team.
Yeah.
Let's get back at it.
We still got things to do together.
Yeah, we yeah.
But Ben
has
other thoughts in his head. And he was kind of like, you know, no. And was he kind of letting on that you're holding me back kind of thing?
Basically that like Riley's washed up. He doesn't have it anymore.
Oh yeah.
He's a has-been. You were great when you had it.
Yeah,
he
called him grandpa.
He kept saying that he doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like
and you know, before you know it, more or less in so many words, who's the boss? No longer a thing. So they are not a team anymore. Mm-hmm. Mark kind of let on that he
wants to stay with
the exchange.
Yeah.
Ben obviously
does not want anything to do with it.
That. Yeah. So who's the boss is no more.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they were a fun team.
Yep.
So now they're both single and ready to mingle.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like I think Riley is one of those guys who's like, hey man, I'll still play for Gucci. I mean, they had a good run with Gucci.
Dude.
Yeah, great dude. And at this point in Spectacular, it's like, yeah, man, yeah, Gucci's the manager to go with right now.
Yeah.
And obviously Ben wants nothing to do with him. And so it's like, where do these two end up? And we can have a conversation about this in the offseason about where everybody's going to end up, because there's a lot of question marks around not only the exchange but other factions. Everybody has question marks and spots to fill.
A lot of stuff that could go down.
Yeah.
People might have plans in their heads, but it could go that way and might not. So there's a lot of things that could happen, especially when only the winning faction gets to like, these three are staying with me. So nothing else is set in stone. So a lot of could happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And as far as like who's the boss was a great team.
Yeah. I mean, they had a rough season this year.
They had a rough season this year, but like we said, who doesn't have a rust patch? And it's like, it just seems right now that Riley just doesn't seem like to.
Yeah.
He's like,
he's in a rut.
He's in a rut right now.
A little bit.
Like, you know, it was this way a season ago where the entire faction, all the horsemen were just like, they couldn't seem to win, couldn't seem to get it past. And then in the latter half of the season happens and boom, they skyrocket and all these titles and all these wins happen. So, and it just isn't, they're still down there. So I think don't count Riley out. Come on, to have some respect, the first champion of the Schmoedown.
Yeah.
He still hasn't. And Ben is kind of like, we see what he can do, but also he had a rough spot too.
Heck yeah.
There's two sides of a team coin, and you can't blame it all on one player.
And there are some days that you're pulling my weight, and there are some days it's the other way around.
Exactly.
So, and I actually just realized that since Who's the Boss broke up, barring what happens later in Spectacular, even just after this one cutscene, the Horsemen are like,
they're donezo. Yeah, because
Brooks and done.
Yeah. And we'll get that to that later.
But even at this point right now, horsemen are no more. They've
at least you lose one horseman at this point with Ben.
But you don't just have three horsemen. But we'll see what happens, you know.
You can pick up somebody else for the horseman.
That's also true. You never know.
You never know.
But so yeah, that happened. Awkward, upsetting, like your family members fighting at the dinner table.
Yeah.
But stuff happens.
But another thing that we have to note at the end of the cutscene.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It seems like
at the end of the cutscene, first of all, Ben called Mark grandpa and gave him an instruction on how to exit out of the call.
He has shaky hands. I think he kept saying.
Yeah, you got shaky hands. You know, hit the X over in the button and over in the top, and to exit out of the call, grandpa.
Yeah,
and then as Mark drops out of the call, Ben just kind of sits there, and his mouth like twitches, and he's almost like kind of just.
It looks like he's.
It almost looks like he's
like,
remorseful.
Yeah.
About being like kind of mean.
Mm-hmm.
But then he just kind of shakes it right off, and you hear that like trademark Ben Bateman cackle.
Yeah, and the glasses go on.
And the like old school team action level sunglasses go on, and it's just like, oh boy, heel Bateman is back.
And I mean, I hate to see the faction just like start to just separate like this, but like I like heel Bateman because like the trash talk that it's so good.
I want team action to get back together.
I do too. I would love to see that, but who knows what happens?
We'll see. But in any case, heel Bateman's back, baby.
Yeah,
and he's ready to get down.
Yeah, and I think I remember seeing on Twitter somewhere. I could be wrong because I very briefly scrolled over it. Call to Action's reaction to that cutscene, and they're like, "Yeah, they're like, yeah." I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Somebody correct me in the comments, but I mean, Call to Action's got to be happy about that because
because he was like the traitor.
Yeah, he was the traitor. And now you get the boss. He's back. So that's. That's fun. I do like heel Bateman, but it's like you hate to see the faction just like everybody being like, I don't want anything to do with this anymore. It's like, God.
But it's always fun to shake things up. So
it is.
It would be boring if the teams just stayed the same
together. Yeah, I mean that was the whole point of Anarchy. That's the whole point of the draft. So
gotta shake it up a little bit sometimes.
We'll see what happens.
So moving right along to the team's title. Woo, my goodness. You got Shazam, William the Beast Bibiani, and Brendan the Kid Meyer versus, they're obviously of the Mercs.
And they're the team champions right now.
And the defending team champions versus the odd couple, Jeff the Insnider Snyder.
The challengers.
And Mark the Android and Draco of the Rock Stars, the #1 contenders. So.
Highly anticipating this one because odd couple just plowed through that tournament.
Yeah, they've been looking good.
Looked real good through that
tournament. Real
tournament.
Focused up through that tournament.
I think the first round was kind of like their like
their
warm up, and then they just blazed through the tournament. It was they were. I said it in the last episode. It was they were hitting every single note that you have to win, and having like
perfect first rounds,
amazing chemistry, amazing second rounds, and like it's this. It's like God, they look unstoppable when they're that good.
Yeah.
But then, like, you got to look at Shazam, who was almost the exact carbon copy of this, but we haven't seen them in a while. So it's like, what will happen?
Yeah.
But I was so happy for Shazam when they won it. So the question is, will they defend it? Can they defend it? So
yes. So round 1, Brendan missed the question about Metro, and Draco and Jeff missed the question about Goodfellas. Jeff missed a question about the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Oh, I mean that was. I think that one we were both talking about, like, oh man, we know
obviously it's SpongeBob.
Obviously SpongeBob. It's like,
but it's like, what's the actual title of the movie?
Like, what's the wording?
I thought it was SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie, but I guess it was the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Yeah, it's just, and that's one of those like title matches. Manager's gonna be looking at the title like, oh, he switched that one word.
Oh yeah, so everybody was like eagle eye. You know, Jeff was like, I think Bibiani was still writing.
Yeah,
it's like everybody's looking for that.
Yeah, that one
moment to pounce.
Yeah.
So, and then Bibiani got a perfect round. He was the only one.
Oh, yeah.
And he got the bonus. So by the end of round 1, it was 13-16 in favor of Shazam. Round 2.
And we do have to make a note before we go on. 5 rounds.
Oh yeah, 5 rounder. Round 2. Odd couple goes. They spin away from Oscars and they get Ron Howard. And they killed it. They had a perfect round 2. And that's the odd couple that we've been seeing.
Yeah, because the first round, it's like you're normally like seeing like Jeff go perfect in the first round. Like he's been knocking him out of the park in the past couple tournaments, and it's like, oh,
and then he misses 2 questions, and I feel like with Jeff, you kind of see it on his face as it happens. But then Roxy jumps in, goes shake it off. It's round 1. There's still 4 more rounds.
4 more rounds to go.
So they crush it around 2.
Shook it off and went perfect for the second round. It's like not much to talk about when you don't miss anything.
Exactly. Other than it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Shazam. They spin away from coming of age. They get Jim Henson. They went to multiple choice 1 time. They missed it, and I do believe it was stolen.
This is a big miss too.
Yeah. So at the end of round 2, it was 26-26 in a tie.
Yeah, and I think it's good to note that they when they went to multiple choice, like, yeah, it's either whoopee cushions
or rubber chickens.
And we were like, it's rubber chickens.
It's rubber chickens. Do you not watch Muppet Babies every day like me?
and that's the only reason we like, because if it was multiple, if I wouldn't have gotten that in 2 points, but you give me multiple choice and it's like, oh yeah,
Fozzie loves rubber chickens.
Rubber chickens.
He tries to grow them on a tree in Muppet Babies. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, because they're bouncing back and forth between one of those, and like, oh man, whoopee cushion sounds good because it sounds like an obvious answer. Yeah, but it's like, oh, that's unfortunate, and I think this is one of the opportunities that could have won the match for them had they not missed this.
Probably, if they had gotten it, full 2-pointer, or had they just not had it stolen at all, because. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Spoiler alert for the end of the match.
Whoops. So the end of round 2, tie 26-26. Round 3, Shazam spins Jim Henson for the betting round. Odd couple bets 3. Shazam bets 1.
Yes.
Really?
No.
There's no way. I had to have typed that wrong.
No. Shazam bet 3.
Okay. Yeah. There's no way that I don't know what I was doing. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they both bet. Yeah, Shazam bet 3. Yeah. I don't know. Just ignore me. They both bet 3. No, Shazam odd couple bet 1.
1, yes.
I'm just backwards. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Obviously, she's not paying attention to me.
I'm not paying attention to anything, I guess. So, I'm here. I got there. Ready? Odd couple bet 1. Shazam bet 3. They both got it right. 27 and 29 Shazam math. So there's our betting round.
There we go.
Round 4. Shazam decides to go first. Brendan takes the A set and Bibiani takes the B set because, of course, that's how teams work. Virtual matches work.
The lightning round.
For the lightning round, there's an A set of questions with five questions
each.
So each competitor will get a set of 5. They'll answer 2 separate sets of questions, and then the other team will say
5 questions, 30 seconds each.
A set goes to Brandon. He passed on 1 only because the time ran out.
Yes.
He didn't consciously. He submitted an answer, but it was after the timer.
It was after the timer.
B set for Bibbs. He passed on 1. A set for Jeff and the odd couple. He passed on 4. B set for Jericho. He passed on 2. And then once it concluded, it was somehow confirmed that Jeff couldn't hear his second question during his round. And
that's how the internet works.
It happens. It's the second time it happened to Jeff specifically, which is interesting. But when I went back and rewatched it, and you did kind of see him go like,
like
I didn't take it as couldn't hear. I took it as just not sure of the answer, but I guess he couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
So they did decide to issue him a new question that he would get, because you should have about 6 seconds per question if you do math.
Do the math. Yeah.
So they gave him a new question, 6 seconds. However, he didn't know it, and he passed on that one as well. So it just kind of washed.
Yeah, kind of washed itself out. And God, this speed round.
Jeff was visibly defeated.
Yes.
After this speed round, and honestly, Mark didn't look too good either.
Yeah, and I said it in the last episode. The speed round could have killed them.
Oh yeah,
and they needed to polish it up because Jeff didn't do great in the final of the team's tournament with spear, and I can't remember how he did in the singles tournament. I can't remember, but it needed work, and they didn't seem to fix it.
Yeah,
because Jeff passed on 4.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's granted that's one of the benefits of this new lightning round. You don't run the risk of your opponent taking the points away from you.
It's you against yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And like you can pass if you don't really know it, and the penalty is less.
Yeah, because if you pass in the traditional round, it's like, oh boy, I'm just opening the door for them to get the point.
Yeah, you're hoping not me. You're hoping they don't buzz in before you, or they know it and they go, well, I just gave them that point.
Exactly.
So
that's one of the pros of this new format.
He didn't cost them any points, but he didn't gain them much. So it was just like, oh man, Jeff, if you're gonna have to defend, and now you have this option of this new lightning round, even if we get back to live events or studio matches, you have that option we can go in this new one, or we can go to the traditional buzzer. And if you go with this new lightning round thing, you gotta brush that up because that wasn't a great showing for Jeff.
It wasn't. And so by the end of of that round, it was 31-37 Shazam, a 6-point.
6-point
spread.
Deficit.
And going in around 5, Roxy came in. She did her pep talk. She told them,
It's not over.
It's not over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you have to do, and that's what we're going to do. You need to answer all three of your questions correctly, and that's all we can do. So, our work is cut out for us.
Do your job, and then we'll see what happens.
Let fate take care of the rest. Because honestly, you saw Jeff being Jeff and, pushed back in his chair, looking visibly like this is already over. Why am I even here anymore? Mm-hmm. Mark looked deflated, if we're going to be honest.
He even sounded deflated too.
He sounded and looked deflated. Jeff was pushed back in his chair with his I've already lost this match posture. That happens. But Roxy did her pep talk. So going into round 5, 2-pointer for Odd Couple, dance, and Draco takes it. Natalie Portman plays a ballet dancer in what 2010 film? Black Swan. He got it. 3-pointer for 80s, Jeff took it. Who plays the lead? Chris Taylor in Platoon. Charlie Sheen. He got it. 5-pointer for the Odd Couple, family films. Jude Law plays Asa Butterfield's father in what 2011 family film? Hugo. They got it right. So they did what they had to do. They did what Roxy said they needed to do. They got all 5 right, or all 3 right.
Yeah.
And now you just kind of let the rest play out because you you did exactly the most that you could do.
Yeah, and the situation. Make Shazam earn the win.
Exactly. So 2-pointer for Shazam. Crime. Brendan decides to take it.
He very adamantly goes, yeah, I'll take this.
In what 2013 crime film does a character refer to a microwave as a science oven? Very funny. American Hustle. He did miss it. 3-pointer for Shazam. Brad Pitt.
Ooh, he's been popping up a lot in the past season or two.
He was on another wheel on one of the other matches too. Brad Pitt starred with Jessica Chastain and Sean Penn in what film? The Tree of Life.
Yep.
Bibbs got it. 5-pointer for Shazam. Tom Cruise. Name one of the 2 nicknames given to Sergeant Rita Vertasky after her victory over the Mimics in Edge of Tomorrow.
Still have yet to see this movie. I heard great things about it too.
Brendan was kind of like, what do you got, Bibbs? And they were both kind of like, I don't have it.
It's like, oh no.
And
seriously,
it was just like, there's no way on a 5-pointer that you're just going to pull this out of your butt.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's just one of those questions like you're just repeating just to hear it again, and you're grasping for anything and
maybe divine intervention will just shove it into my head.
Yeah, get some of just some of that Josh McCouga, Stacey Howard magic, and just like I don't know this.
Yeah,
and like sometimes God knows we've been there, and it's like hey, what's this answer? It's like
I literally don't know.
I literally have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't know, and like obviously I've watched the movie.
Yeah.
I just don't know it. And it's just unfortunate that this cost them the match.
So, yeah.
And cost them the titles.
40-41. Odd Couple. New teams champions. Jeff Snyder is now a 3-time teams champion.
First to ever do it in the history of the Schmoedown. 3-time teams champion. And Draco, 2 times team champion.
First spectacular appearance. Second team's title win.
Yes.
With Jeff Snyder, too.
Yeah.
So, and there was one thing that I wish I could know, but I don't think I ever will. At some point in the final round, I don't know if it was at the beginning or if it was towards the middle after they'd answered all the questions.
I think it was during Bibbs's, or I think it was during Brendan's.
So it must have been after Odd Couple answered all their questions.
Yeah.
And you know how when Jeff, there's been a match or two earlier on in I think the singles tournament where he thought he was going to get a TKO, and so he wrote TKO on his. Yeah,
he'll write something
on his pad papers, so he can hold it up and, so he wrote something on his notepad and he was like holding it here. And I guess because he thought the match was over.
Yeah.
As did we.
Yeah.
As did I think many people.
I thought a lot of people thought like, oh, this is over. It's like, well, we've seen crazy things happen in this game.
So I'm assuming that he thought that once they answered whatever they needed to answer to, he was just going to flip it up. And I just wish I knew what that said. I wish, but we're never going to find out because I did see somebody I've been trying to not look at the Facebook group, if I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. But I did see somebody who was like, it kind of took away from the win for me to see them going into the final round
just so
in
defeated.
Such a defeated, petulant fashion,
Yeah,
I thought the same thing. I was kind of like, I know it is like so disappointing and it is deflating and you want it so badly, but it's just kind of like I kind of wish there was a bit more decorum,
sportsmanship. I don't think sportsmanship is like the right word.
Not sportsmanship, like I don't know. It's hard. It's easy to say
conduct
it from
yourself
the couch.
Conduct yourself a little bit more professionally.
I guess.
I don't know.
Because you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
After Jeff passed on 4 questions in the speed round, he was like, "What the?" He was obviously not happy about it, and then he's looking like he was looking going into round 5, like it wasn't looking good, and then you got to keep your head in it because look what happened.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the only case that we've seen this before. I mean, God, who was it? The Misfits and that play-in versus the Wishing Power.
Yeah,
we thought that was over. It's like, oh, they just got to answer a couple questions and they move on to Founding Fathers. Woof, they got all their questions wrong.
Yeah.
So it's like this isn't. There's a couple other things that happened in the season just like this where we thought it was over.
It was wrapped up.
So it was wrapped up. Oh, we got this. Like this team's got it in the bag. This person's got it in the bag, and they like Gray Drake versus Stacey Howard.
Yeah, another good example.
Another great example. We thought it was over. She's playing really great, really good for the entire match, and then just missed all of her last round questions.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
So that is one thing, and it's I just kind of wish that it was, because it just kind of makes the win. I don't know. It makes the win feel almost guilty.
Yeah, like
oh, we did win.
And I don't blame them.
I don't blame them because I would be crushed too. But the fact of the matter is, you hadn't lost yet. You just felt like you had. And I understand it's like supremely crushing disappointment to lose a match that you really want. I understand.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely understand that.
Definitely. But it's not over until they announce the winner.
Yeah. Until that last question is asked and they announce the winner. It's not over because like we've seen crazy things. And I think they take this as a lesson. It's like, yeah, it's not over.
Yeah, that was one thing that I did appreciate Jeff saying. I don't know if it's why he said it, but he said that he said, I feel something, I feel humbled.
Yeah.
And I was like, I appreciated that comment. So I don't know if he meant it in the way that I received it, but perception is reality. Yeah, so that's how I'm going to take it.
And like every competitor can say this, like with every match you have, whether you win and with every loss, you learn something.
Exactly.
And maybe this is something they can take with them. It's like, hey,
it's not over till it's over.
It's not over till the fat lady sings. You know what I mean? So, and as far as Shazam goes, like, oh my God, it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing. It's so crushing to lose in that fashion because, I mean, people will always argue this is like, oh, the person that outplays the other person is the person that wins. It's like
not always.
Not always.
No,
it's not always.
Just because you won doesn't mean that you outplayed them. You just sometimes, most of the time, yes.
Yeah, most of the time, yes. But sometimes it just comes down to that 5-pointer that your opponent just missed. Yeah, and this is what happened. Yeah, and this is what happened. And I think Brendan probably will look at it like, oh, it's because I missed that 2-pointer. It's because we missed that. You know what I mean? But like, there's a couple other instances where it's like you could have you could have picked up those 2 points or whatever.
Yeah, there's plenty of coulda, woulda, shoulda
in the previous rounds. That's why I'm saying that one second round miss with the whoopee cushion and the rubber chicken, that could have made up the points that they could have had.
Yeah, it was a 1-point game.
Exactly. So it's like
could have at least gone a sudden
death. It's not just one thing that happened. It's like there's tiny little things that happen in each match that could cost you the match. And it's sad to see like to lose in that fashion. It's so crushing
because they had like just gotten the belts.
Yeah, they just got them a month ago, and it's like
yeah. But it's exciting that Jeff Sneider makes that history. It's exciting.
It's exciting, yeah.
Like it's super exciting for Mark and Draco. I mean, your first spectacular appearance, you take home gold. Like that's exactly amazing.
And it's sort of redemption for them because up until this point, they had one of the shortest reigns as team champions.
That's true.
So because like they won it off of Shire Wolves, and then like a couple of weeks to a month later, they lose it right back to them. So this is sort of not only redemption for the team, but for Draco and for the Rockstars and for Snyder. I mean, people have already been saying like he's one of the best. I certainly say he is probably the best teams player we've seen.
Hard to deny when you have this kind of resume.
Yeah, and is he in the conversation for that Rushmore bid? Because like everybody
has.
I feel
like you need to have like a Rushmore for each division. Yeah. I mean, there could be one overall Rushmore, but I don't know.
Yeah, for me, I mean, like he's getting there for me.
Yeah.
Because like that, he's like, yeah, he's one of if not the best teams player we've seen. But that singles, like if he's gotten so close to that title twice now, and like he's been improving in that aspect. It's like get that one title, and then I think he's in that conversation for me now.
Yeah.
But he's itching closer and closer for that.
Oh yeah, he's been playing phenomenally this season.
Oh yeah, no question. And he is for me at least. I think he's in conversation for Player of the Year.
I think so.
Because
at least a nomination.
At least a nomination.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I know who's going to get it, but he's at least in the conversation.
Yeah. So it's exciting. So unfortunately for Shazam, the season's over for them. But I think Koi would be foolish not to try to sign them. Obviously, this is the last match for the Rockstars for this, I believe, right? In Spectacular.
Yes. Because it was Star Wars Jericho teams.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk about what they're gonna do after, because we still have to talk about the Star Wars belt. But anything else you wanted to sort of brush over really quickly about this?
No, very exciting match, nail biter, down to the very last minute.
It was up until like that, everybody thought it was over after the speed round, but like up until that point it was like back and forth. Shazam had a lead, and then it was tied, and it's like, oh man. So,
but then they pulled out every single question in round 5, and it was a great
teams match.
That just that one thing for me, I just kind of wish that transition from round 4 to round 5 was just a little bit handled a little differently. But I get it. I get it because totally the emotion, I'd be the same way. It's just because I sometimes wear my emotions on my sleeve too. So I get it. I'm just thinking out loud. So
hey, they take this into the next season,
and you learn from it.
And you learn from it. It's like, hey, I've been in this situation before.
Yeah,
it's not over. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
So.
Because I don't expect you to be like, smiling and giggling going into round 5, but
yeah.
Because yeah.
So great teams final, our team's title match. Such oh my god! And this is only the third match of Spectacular. So, and there's many more matches that we have to go over.
So much to talk about.
But so let's rewind. Because we skipped it. And it's our show, and we wanted to probably going to spend most time talking about this match, the Star Wars title match.
Never seen it.
Never seen.
Never watched the movies. How many are there?
Not one. You haven't seen one.
No.
That's curious.
No.
Especially just looking at this room, it's surprised you haven't seen one.
Maybe one day.
Let's go ahead and get into it. I don't think there's a cutscene before this.
No, it was the Andrew Ghai one that we already talked about. Yeah. So here we go. We got the Star Wars title match. We have Andres Ace Cabrera, the challenger of Swag,
winner of the tournament.
That is correct.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
And
then we've got.
I wonder who he beat for that. Who did he beat? I wonder who he beat.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it really. And he's challenging the champion, Alex the Demon Damon of the Rockstars.
Has that belt. Seems like an eternity now.
It's been 84 years, I
Defended
believe.
it 3 times. And this is the first time we're seeing him in Star Wars the entire season, because we've only seen him in Inner Geekdom.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He had a very respectful run in Inner Geekdom. I mean, and for him, he said it himself. When we had him on, it's like, it was just I had my luck ran out when I ran into Mike. I got a category that I wasn't strong in.
Yeah,
it happens to everybody. But either way, I think it's like, God, you did better than I would have done if I would have just jumped in.
Better than I would have done. Good Lord, you don't want to see that.
But yeah, like again, my eyeballs were on this because I almost have skin in this right now. So because like, do I get to play sooner than later, or do I have to wait another match to see who I play next? So we'll get to that.
Yeah,
we'll get to it.
See what you did there.
It's called a tease. It's called the tease.
You're just teeing up the ball so you can knock it out of the park later. So round 1, Ace missed a question, and like we said, probably going to be a bit more discussion. Star Wars. So Ace missed a question about the Return of the Jedi, about a spider-like droid that was carrying a brain, and what type of monk did that brain belong to? It was a Ba'omar monk. So he missed that one, and then he also missed a question about Bob Anderson.
Yeah, who was the stunt Vader for Empire Strikes Back.
There you go.
Yeah. Did the lightsaber duels.
Alex Damon got a perfect round, much to not my surprise. So he got a perfect round and he got the bonus question. So round 1, 8 to 11, Damon. Round 2,
Damon. Alex Damon.
Alex the Damon. Damon.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
He's married. What are you doing?
I don't know.
You're married too.
It was
what are you doing?
I feel like I was trying to do the voice of that person from Big Mouth. The
Why
do you smell so good? Because
I don't wear deodorant.
I don't wear deodorant and I only take bubble baths. I feel like I was trying to go for that voice. Alex.
Fun show.
I haven't watched it in forever.
We only watched about a couple episodes.
Nick Kroll.
Anyways, that's not Star Wars.
Nick Kroll, John Mulaney. How did we get there? Sorry.
That's the first tangent we went on.
During Star Wars. Weird.
Yeah.
So Ace goes first in round 2. He spins away from episode 5 and he gets Solo, a Star Wars story. He goes to multiple choice one time. Do you remember what it was? I don't remember. Solo. Man, I should have written it down. I'm such an idiot.
Yeah.
But he went to multiple choice one time and he did get it right.
I can't remember. I gotta go look back.
Yeah. I can't remember.
We'll get back
you want to sit here and think for a second and then edit it out?
Sure, let's do it. Ready?
Right.
1, 2, 3. Ooh. Okay. Hit my mic. We're back.
I did it on the first time.
Yeah, so he went to multiple choice on the who leads the ground assault on Minban, the commanding officer that
because he was aware of the rank.
Yes,
but
wasn't sure of the name.
A little fuzzy on the name probably. So he did go to multiple choice.
Major Staz,
and he got it. So Alex then goes. He spins away from the Clone Wars, and he gets Rogue One, and he gets a perfect round.
No surprise there.
So, by the end of round 2, it is... Oh, so this is a 5-rounder.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, pretty much all these are, except for 2 matches.
Except for this is like celebrity matches.
Yeah.
Round 2, 17 to 21, Damon. Round 3, Alex Damon spins Solo. We're back in the Solo world.
It's just weird how the wheel works. Like this, it happens all the time.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, because I believe it was with his defensive end, Laura Kelly. He just couldn't get away from heroes and villains.
Yeah, that's right.
It's weird how it works. It's just Schmoedown.
Andrew Ghai hit us up.
He's onto something.
So he spins Solo. I believe they both bet 3. And Alex got it correct. Right. And Ace missed it. This was a question that Ace decided to challenge. You want to go ahead and take the lead on this?
Yeah. So, but the question was at the beginning of Solo, a Star Wars story. Again, I'm paraphrasing because the text after the text reads that the
crime syndicate.
The crime syndicates are competing for what 3 resources or what?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what word.
I think it was used. 3 things.
3 things.
I think for what 3 things?
Yeah.
And Alex writes medicine, food, and hyperfuel.
Right. And Ace writes resources, food, and hyperfuel.
So he challenges it because he said, resources is what they're competing for.
Food is a resource.
Food is a resource, and it's like, this is one of those where I immediately went, no, because if you look at the title, it's like, the factions are competing for resources, medicine, these 3 things. And that's what they were looking for, these 3 specific things.
Yeah, because resources could apply to any one of them.
Exactly. So it's not like you get to say resources and you covered all your bases.
Yeah, I forgot one, so I'm just going to say resources because it's the umbrella term.
Yeah, because the question was specifically asking for those 3 things. Right. And they came back from the challenge like, no, well, you're overruled.
Right.
We're not, because we were looking for these 3 specific resources and you didn't give all of them.
Right.
So I get what he was trying to do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But, and we've said it before, if you see a shred of hope,
you take your shot. Especially against Alex Damon.
Within reason.
Yeah.
Take your shot. But
and this was within reason.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It was, but I think in his mind it was like, oh no, I know, like I believe that this is the answer.
Yeah.
It just happened like no, that they were looking for that specific 3. And you obviously you go back and watch the film, it's like resources, medicine, food, and hyperfuel. So
the challenge was overruled.
Yeah.
He loses this challenge and does not get the points and does get the 3 points deducted from his score. So now at the end of the betting round 3, it is now 14 to 24 Damon. Round 4, the speed round.
The lightning round.
Lightning round.
That's how I like to call it.
So, 10 questions. They both get the same questions.
Yes.
They both did fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And they both happened to miss the same question. I think it was the last question, and it was, how many films has Han Solo been in? They both said 5.
It's 6.
And the answer was 6.
And I would argue there's no way they forgot Solo.
No.
So I think they might have forgotten Rise.
Possibly. It seems like the most logical one to just kind of go, yeah, that's right.
He's only in one scene. It's like,
he's a flash. He's a figment of an,
Yeah, he's a memory. So it's like, oh yeah, that's right. You did have that, and it's a recent film, so it's not in your head as most of the rest of the movies are. So I immediately said 6 because like I remember like because it's my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's like
So now, again, kind of a wash because they both scored the same.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of round 4, it's 22-32 Damon. So the same gap still. Going into round 5, 2-pointer for Ace. He gets planets and locations. Which ravine on Tatooine did Luke and Biggs race through as Utes?
What? Sam? What?
A Ute.
What? And Sam Hill's a Ute?
I'm sorry. Youths.
Love that movie.
My Cousin Vinny. Great movie.
Great movie.
He got it.
Mm-hmm.
Beggars
Canyon. 2-pointer. Easy money.
Easy money. 3-pointer for Ace. Big fan of this question, I was.
Mm-hmm.
He gets Solo yet again because Schmoedown. Name the order of servants used by Dryden Voss that first appeared in Rogue One. He did miss it. The reason that I enjoy this question is because, I don't know, literally last week, Andrew was watching Solo, and we were watching that one scene where, Dryden Voss is in his yacht and whatever. Mm-hmm. And, you got one of the servants.
Headless people walking
around with their trays and whatever. And I look at Andrew and I go, do you think they'll actually ever ask a question about the decraniated?
I'm like,
and he's like, I guess they could, but I don't know.
At this point, I was like, at this point, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, but like literally a week ago, I'm like, I wonder if they'd ever actually ask about the decraniated because, and here we are. So,
and I think what tripped him up was in the question that it was like what they made their first appearance in Rogue One.
Yeah.
And you forget, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. They did appear in Rogue One. They're in the background.
Yeah, it's almost like it was almost like it was a distractor part of the sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it took you out of Solo and you're like, wait a minute, this is a question about Solo. Why am we talking about Rogue One?
Yeah, and that's the point of the Star Wars division. Sometimes you have to like do that because
mental gymnastics,
and it's like they're not going to try to trick the competitors, but in the Star Wars division, sometimes you have to word your questions to where it's not like, oh yeah, it's obvious.
I mean, it was an absolutely fair question.
It's
just the kind of thing that if you let it, it could make you go, wait a minute, why are we talking about Rogue One if I just got Solo? It could throw you off a little bit. So nothing wrong with the question at all.
No, absolutely.
Because it's absolutely true.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do that with these. When you get to this level of competition, it's like you can't just be like, hey, who's this character?
Right.
Who said this? It's like sometimes you have to like maybe word it to where you have to think a little bit harder about it.
Exactly. That's what makes it a 3-pointer.
Again, I'm specifying they're not trying to trick the competitors. You're just forcing them to think harder about the question.
Right.
So, and this is a clear case of that because I think that might have thrown Ace off. Like, wait, what?
It even threw me off for a second. But as soon as I heard Dryden Voss's service, I was like,
oh yeah,
we just talked about this. But yeah, no. When I heard, I'm like, what? Rogue One? Why? So. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows what happened? Maybe that didn't happen to him. Who knows? But I just think it's a possibility that what could have been.
Yeah.
Who knows? In any case, he did miss it. So this match ended 24-32. Alex Damon in a TKO.
Defends it for
a fourth time.
Unprecedented fourth time.
Right.
Because I don't think anybody's defended 4 in a row.
No.
Oh, besides the Patriots. Sorry.
Oh, word. True.
Because he's two defenses away from tying that record.
Right.
Now,
So next, do you want to talk about?
Let's keep it to the match right now. Well, give your thoughts about how Ace performed and what do you think of this match? Like, how do you like?
I thought it was a good match. I didn't think it was going to end the way it did, in the fashion that it did. But it was a good match, absolutely. It kind of sucks when, luck has it that you just kind of hover around these 2 movies, Rogue One and Solo. But what are you going to do when it's left up to chance like that? Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
So you know, it was a good match. It was very fun. I always enjoy a good Star Wars match.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I mean, it's frustrating sometimes. It's very frustrating when I get so damn close to facing Alex. And the person that goes in my place, or who beats me to go against Alex, Laura went up against him, almost gets knocked out. Ace goes up against him and gets knocked out. We played along this match.
We did.
And we tried to do it in the most like fashion way if I was actually competing.
Right.
I didn't watch their speed round live. We recorded it, and then we
what we did was he went into another room because I was like, let's see how you stack up in this match, because, you know, like you said, we were this close. So he played along with round 1, 2, and 3. And then we got to the speed round, and I said, you go in the other room. Yeah. And so I got all 10 questions. I typed them all out. And then we just kind of paused the match for a minute and brought him back in. And I was like, all right, let's just try our best to simulate this as if it's happening. So I put 60 seconds on a timer, and I listened to Mark read them in the kind of speed. He wasn't rushing, but he also wasn't dragging it out.
Yeah.
He was reading it at a normal pace.
Yeah.
So I issued all the questions to Andrew. That was how we simulated the lightning round, was 60 seconds on the clock. The same order, the same questions. I word for word wrote them down. Same rules that applied to the actual game. And
and going off of that, you know, Ace goes into the final round down
10 points.
Down 10 points. We simulated this as close as possible. I went into the final round tied with Alex Damon.
That is true. I can corroborate that.
So it's unbelievably frustrating when I'm sitting at home and and that keeps going through my head. What could have been, what should have been, whatever, however you want to talk about it, and you see the other competitor perform like this, and it's like, I could have taken Alex Damon at least to his 5-pointer, because in the past 2 defenses he's only had to answer at most a 3-pointer or a 2-pointer.
Yeah, something like that.
He didn't have to answer a single final round question in this match, and it's like, what could have been?
Yeah,
it kept weighing on me after watching this one, and they're all spectacular. Like, oh man, I'm enjoying these matches, but in the back of my head the entire time I'm thinking, what could have been?
Yeah,
what we could have given the fans. I mean, it's hard to, you know, I can't, I'm not scrapping on Ace for what he did in the tournament or anything. It's like, he earned his shot at this. He plowed through the entire tournament. He beat Laura Kelly. He beat former champion Ace, Ken Napsok. Yeah. He beat me. Straight up, fair is fair. He won the tournament.
It happened, yeah.
But it's like, and it's hard to say like what would have happened in the match, because what wheel spin would I have gotten?
Exactly.
You know, how certain things would happen. We got a different third round wheel spin.
And we've always said it's a different game when you're playing as a spectator.
And it's different games playing from home. But
that's the, you know, caveat.
Yeah, but like, I know how I did in that with both sets of those questions, and I know for sure that I probably would have taken Alex to his 5.
Well, yeah, because whenever we play along, we play along as if we're competitor A and then competitor B, and we have 2 scores, you know, because, you know, you're going to spin different things around too. So based on both scores that Andrew had, in either case, he went into round 5 tied with Alex.
Yeah. So, it's just frustrating to watch, and Alex is just he keeps defending. He keeps upping his game as he will, and he said it himself. Like, each time a new challenger comes forth, he's forced to up his game. And Ace is just, I mean, just wasn't his day today. That day.
That's for sure. So, it was not.
He had and to his credit, these were tough questions. Like,
Heck
there was a couple in the first round. I was like, oh, we're going there.
That's what I said too.
We're going there.
Yeah.
Wow. Because it was kind of similar to his match against Ken Napsok. It's like, wow, they're bringing out size noodles in the first round.
I thought the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn good. It's like that's a credit to, like, because I had a couple problems with the last couple title matches. It's like, come on, man, this is a title match.
Red Plum Bloom.
Yeah, Red Plum Bloom. Seriously. But this time around, I'm like,
but it's also round 1.
Yeah, but this time around, it's like round 1. It's like, oh wow, we're going Omar Monk brain here.
Yeah.
Jeez.
There were two questions.
There's a couple questions in the first round. I was like,
wow, okay.
Okay.
This is a title match.
Wow. So that I had no problems with the questions this time around. I had no, but it's just sitting from a competitor standpoint that just came this close again, and to see the other challenger that was there not take Alex the full distance. It's just
yeah.
But so who knows where Ace goes next season, because we'll get to where what Swag does and what they do when we get to the next episode.
Yeah.
But as far as the rock stars go, she'd be full. You have three champions. Sorry.
Yeah.
3 champions. It's like, why wouldn't you go?
Why wouldn't you try to sign those 3?
Odd Couple, Alex Damon. There's your 3.
There you go.
So it's kind of the rock stars is a faction where it's kind of a no brainer. Like, duh, those are who you're going with.
Yeah.
You have 2 of the titles now. You have the team's titles with Odd Couple, and you still have the Star Wars champion.
It's a no Omar brainer.
No, but Omar Monk brain.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, duh. That's what's gonna happen. So, but anything else you want to touch on this? Because I can rant all day.
Yes, I know.
And just I know I'm sounding very petty and very like just sour, because I am.
Yeah.
I'm very petty and very sour. I'm a competitor. I'm very competitive no matter what we do. Playing with our friends on gaming, if it's the Schmoedown, if it's a freaking like some other like trivia something, whatever. I'm competitive.
Yeah.
And I'm very serious about the Schmoedown and competing in the Schmoedown. I would argue I'm probably one of the most serious competitors out there. Like
could be argued.
Yeah, but so I could, all day I can just be like yelling into the wind, like, should have been me.
Man screaming at cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are times that I'm like, can we not talk about Schmoedown anymore? Because I want to have a good day today.
Yeah. Can we not go there?
Can we
please?
just maybe not right now?
Trying to eat dinner. Can you shut up already?
But
yeah,
you do what you got to do. Bonnie to his Clyde. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm ride or die.
Yeah. So
So there was a cutscene.
Yeah, there was a cutscene, and somebody was in it.
Yeah, a couple people were
of people were in this cutscene. So it opens. I'll let you lead the way with this.
Sure.
So I don't, again, explode of anger and frustration.
So cutscene opens with Clark Wolf, our lovely commissioner.
And we haven't seen her in a long time. Last time we saw her was in the cutscene before Free For All.
Yeah.
So. And
she's talking about the Star Wars division and how, it was kind of one of the momentum starters for the season and this
going
tournament
into the digital format. Yeah.
For the big foray into the digital age, and the Star Wars competitors really showed us, passion and drive and all that kind of good stuff. And Andrew Dimalanta joins the call.
Yeah.
And he's not entirely in a great mood. And
yeah, because basically for every reason I just spouted off.
Yeah. So he comes in, he says, it should have been me. It should have been a 3-way with me, Ace, and Alex. Sorry that I just blacked out for a second. It should have been a 3-way between me, Ace, and Alex. To which Clark responds, "Oh, I'm glad you brought that up." And then next thing you know, Laura Kelly, Molly Damon enter the chat. And it's all, "Hi, Andrew. Hi, Molly. Hi, Laura." All that kind of stuff. And Clark says that she wanted to recognize who she thought did the best in the tournament. So she said that obviously they're going to honor the title shot that Andrew has with Alex.
Yeah, there was a moment where I was worried, like, we're just gonna go back on your word and take away my title shot, because I understand you're the commissioner, but the chairman said I have a title shot. Right. So you really don't have the power here to take that away from me.
Yeah, that was what was said and agreed upon.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Oh, I didn't ask for it."
Let's be very clear. I never asked for this title
ever.
shot.
That was a total shock in the moment.
Yeah, I was surprised that I got it.
Yeah. So she said that what is going to happen now is that Molly and Laura are going to have a number 1 contender match. And the winner of that what's going to happen is that Alex Damon has the decision to either face Andrew for his next title defense or alone, or to face Andrew as well as the winner of this number one contender match in a title defense.
Mm-hmm. So it'll be a triple threat. So it's either a one-on-one with me or a triple threat between me, Alex,
and the winner of Laura Molly.
Laura Molly, yeah. Mm-hmm. You want to go ahead and give your thoughts on this?
I don't know if I do.
I've already ranted enough, like for the past 5 minutes, about how I really wish it was me at Spectacular. I really, because this isn't set in stone about what this my title shot will be,
right?
Because this is Alex's decision whether he wants to face me one-on-one or he wants to make it a triple threat. Mm-hmm. So it's not really, there yet. Like,
right.
Like this is what we're getting. It's just like, well, it's
still up in the air.
We're getting Molly versus Laura. We're definitely getting that. Mm-hmm. But what happens after that is all Alex's decision. Now, as a fan, would I want to see a triple threat Star Wars match? Sure. But I've been wanting to face Alex Damon for what, 2 years now? Mm-hmm. And now that I finally have an opportunity to do that, there's this other monkey wrench that's happening here that could spoil the party for me. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, come on, man. I've been waiting so long for this. I've been this close so many times. Now I have to deal with this other thing now. I mean, I've talked to Alex before too. It's like, we've been wanting to play each other since I've entered the division, because he when we went to Chicago for my debut, we saw them out in the crowd, and I locked eyes with him. I saw him go. He goes, Andrew Dimalanta. He recognized me right off the bat.
Yeah.
So he already is aware of me, even though I hadn't competed at that point. Then obviously we get to talking, we get to know each other, and it's like, yeah, I can't wait to play you someday. I want to play you someday. And now we finally, now that we're this close. he dealt with Ace. He defended his title against Ace. Now it's like, all right, now it's me and you, buddy. 1 versus 1. Dimalanta Damon. Maybe. Maybe. So it's like, I mean, what are your like?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to stay very cautious about what it's not cautious, but like
calm.
There you go. I'm trying to stay as calm as I can about this, because I could be just yelling into the camera right now.
Just to get it out.
Lord knows I've done it off camera.
Lord knows.
But
but it's when you talk as a fan, it's one thing. When you talk as a competitor, it's a totally different thing. I'm caught in the middle where
you're not a competitor.
I'm not a competitor. I am a fan, but I feel like I'm kind of like a halfway competitor, because I have invested
just as much time
almost as much time as Andrew, close to it. Not as he's still done everything, but I have invested a great deal of time too. So it's kind of hard in this position where I'm not 100% just a fan. Mm-hmm. The way I look at it is, if I could make the decision, obviously I'm gonna pick for it to be you and Alex alone, mm-hmm. because the way I see it, the last 3. Mm-hmm. At least the last 3 defenses that we've seen Alex do, it's been a clean fight. It's been Alex Ace. It's been Alex Laura. It's been Alex Scrimshaw. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, about those last 3 people that he defended against, who'd they have to go through to get there?
Oh yeah,
this guy. So it's just kind of like they rightfully got their shot, mm-hmm. and they rightfully got to play out their shot mano a mano.
Mm-hmm. One-on-one.
So I kind of would love to see the same for Andrew. I kind of would love to see him. I mean, like he said, he didn't ask for this. Christian told him that this was his now. He has a title shot. And I would love to see, as, his number one supporter, I would love to see him get his also mano a mano. Mm-hmm. This is my shot.
No strings attached.
No strings attached. I get my clean, fair shot, one-on-one, and let's see where the cards fall. So that's what I would like to see happen. Do I think that that's what's going to happen? I don't know.
It's all up to Alex. And hopefully, I haven't spoken to him since his title defense.
Yeah.
Or since the last time I talked to Alex was my loss against Ace.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to him since. But hopefully he sees it the same way I do, where it's like all the cards are on the line. We've been wanting to play each other forever. Let's do it. One-on-one. Let's see who. Let's give him the show that we know everybody deserves. Dimalanta Damon. And I hope he sees it, and maybe he's like, yeah, whatever. That's cool. Let's do it. Maybe he's like, okay, no, let's give the people a show. Let's give him a triple threat.
Yeah.
I don't know where his headspace is at. I don't know what he wants, but my hope is that he sees it the same way I do. I was told I can get I shot at Alex. Let's give it a fair shot.
Right.
Give you a fair shot at the title.
And the thing that sucks is we're probably not going to know until after the Molly Laura, because you're not going to make a decision before. You're going to have to wait all the way until we see how that match ends. So,
I'm being more calm than I thought I was going to be.
Probably because we've already been discussing it a lot.
Yeah. We've talked about it a lot.
More than we should probably.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that.
We'll see.
We'll see.
That's all we can do.
That's all we can do. And I don't know when when will happen, so I have no idea when we'll see. I have no idea when these matches will happen eventually. I just don't know when it will happen at the beginning of the season, middle of the season. So how long do we have to wait
exactly
for this season? So it's just come on. It just seems like every single time I get there, someone pulls the rug out from under me.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens this time. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
You know what? I mean, I hope it's a one-on-one, but if it's a triple threat, so fucking be it. That's all I'll say. That's all the Hunter will say about this. If it's a triple threat, so fucking be it.
We should probably just end the episode there.
Well,
next time.
Anything else you want to say?
No, I don't think so.
I think we'll go ahead and end the episode there.
Shut up, stupid.
Thank you, Christian.
Yeah.
Anyways, so with that, we'll get to the next 3 matches of Spectacular in the next episode of Beyond.
Yes. So we've got the Inner Geekdom title match between Chandru, the Chosen, Dandapani. I think I got that name right.
Yeah.
Because I always say the Chosen One.
No, it's Chosen.
Of Swag versus Chance the Cobra Ellison of Corruption.
And we forgot to mention, because Ace did not defeat Alex and Alex defended the title, Corruption wins it all.
Oh, yeah, that's also a fair point to make. Yeah, Corruption won the faction race.
Yeah, because it would, for them not to win it, it would have to been they don't win anything.
And
Swag defends.
Ace would have to win.
Ace would have had to win.
I think Chandra would have to win via TKO.
And Chandra would have to win via TKO. That's how. That was the only scenario where Corruption doesn't win.
And then probably Collins would have to lose too, because he's also Corruption. So I think
like,
it was kind of like all these things have to happen.
All these things had to happen. But if that one thing happened, if Alex won and defended the title,
Dunzo.
Done. Corruption wins it all.
Yeah. And that's what happened.
So
congratulations to Corruption. Absolutely well earned. I mean, started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, who would have thought that? And we said that all season. Like, don't count anybody out, because it's a full season ahead.
Yeah.
Because
like a month in the season, they're like, I guess the Finstock Exchange is gonna ride home with this one.
Yeah, because like look where the factions were at the beginning. Den had a pretty good run at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Whoops! Look what happened there. And Corruption was dead last.
Not doing great. Yeah.
IG Turbine happens. Yeah. Adam Collins happens.
Adam Collins happened. Yeah.
And they rocket to the top.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations to Corruption. I mean,
heck yeah.
And I mean, in my mind, there's no argument who Manager of the Year is.
No.
I mean, Winston had a pretty decent shot at it at one point.
But at this point,
it's a closed book. Shannon is Manager of the Year because for so many reasons.
I would be stunned if anything else happened.
Your stars performed, and then your back half of your roster performed with free agents.
A rookie goes, 6-0 in a tournament, and now he's in a title headlining.
Yeah,
a spectacular in his rookie season. So, that's unheard of.
Yeah, without a doubt, manager of the year is Shannon Marnie.
And also Marisol had a good showing as a rookie. So I'm because when you take veterans going to do what they're going to do. Yes, or you're not there to keep them in the right headspace and everything. But then I feel like really when you see a manager
mold their rookies.
Yeah, when they take a rookie and do that with them.
Yeah, because
not to say that it wasn't Adam, because obviously it's both of them working together, but yeah, when you can manage a rookie to that.
Because look at Kaiser last season. If Oyama beats Bateman in Spectacular last season, Kaiser is manager of the year, not Dagnino.
Yeah.
But Shannon's a runner, like a no-brainer manager.
I think it's a shoo-in, yeah.
Because at the end of the Star Wars tournament, it's oh yeah, Winston, he took an 8th round pick and just won the entire tournament. Shannon took a undrafted free agent rookie, and won the singles tournament and the horror free for all. And
that's true. Yeah. And then also got a TKO in the teams tournament with another rookie. So,
it's a no-brainer for me.
When you can manage huge names and
newcomers,
no names, if you will, because they were at the beginning of the season. Everyone's who's these people?
Not even the beginning of the season.
Free agents. Yeah. And the free agents. So I think that's a true testament to somebody's managerial capabilities. So we'll see what happens, but I do believe that manager of the year is Shannon.
It's no doubt,
no questions asked.
No doubt. Yeah. So glad I didn't forget that.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
Probably a good point.
So, it's only the winner of the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the faction winnings, the prizes, because they were talking about it before the season started.
Maybe it's a box of masks and hand sanitizer, so we can get back into the studio.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. So we will be going over to the next episode.
Yeah. So we got the IG title match. You have Brett Sheridan, Kevin Smith. I always want to say John Smith or Kevin James. Dodge that bullet. And then you've got the main event. You've got Adam Collins, the challenger, the Coyote, versus Dangerous Dan Murrell for the singles belt.
The main event. Oof. And we might, who knows? We might drop it on Friday just to get it out early. Or we might wait until next Monday. But, we have other things we can do.
Who knows?
Yeah. So with that, we'll go ahead and end this episode here. Thank you so much for joining us. Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Dimmy, DIMMMYYY.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA. If you're listening to this on audio form, please follow the feed, rate us. While you're at it, it'll help us very much.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can comment, subscribe, and then click the bell icon over there in the corner. See when we do things on YouTube.
Yes. Thank you again for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. We'll see you next time.